Alright, this is take 2. What's up, guys? Woo here. I've been meaning to make this video for the past few weeks. It's been, very busy because, I wanted to start making, a type of video to release monthly to just talk about the state of the channel and, just directly address it all to you guys. You know, you're the main audience, I would say. Compared to, Twitch, the player base, Patreon, because all of them, I've got, direct access. Twitch, I can just tell them what's going on. Patreon, I make posts. Player base, I just tell them. But YouTube, it doesn't really have an avenue for community updates and that sort of thing, because you guys don't know about some of the topics I will get into, like the new mod sets coming, the body pillow coming, like all this crazy shit. You don't know the background of, what I've had to go through to get all of this shit sorted. So we're just going to dive right in. So let me give some background, and then I'll go over how the past few months have been, and then the past few weeks, and then, we'll end on an upbeat note. Because I will admit the first bit of this is going to sound a little depressing. So apologies for that. But some simple background about me. I live in one of the most expensive areas in the US. That's not by my choice. That's just where I was born. That's how things go. And that means making a living doing full-time stuff via YouTube is difficult to say. If I were living in anywhere else in the world right now, or yeah, even in the world, I would say, other than Silicon Valley in California, I would probably be doing this shit full-time already. There's no doubt in my mind about that, especially I've got so many other friends that are YouTubers that have told me so many things, and yeah, I mean, that would be pretty nice, and I do take everything kind of on a full-time schedule right now anyway, but it's not to where I'd want it to go if I were to actually be full-time. But again, that's background. More background, this is my third to last semester. I expect to graduate at the end of next spring. I only have, including the classes I'm taking right now, 15 classes left to do. So it's going to be, some over the summers, most over next fall, and then one, maybe two over spring, because spring I want to be, like, a real test to see what I can do with all the time in the world and only, like, one or two classes to worry about. So, that'll be something to look forward to next, I want to say mid-December to August, just me barreling through and just to see if I can handle what I want to do and not burn out or anything. But that's the background. So I've got a financial, thingamajig, I forget the word, constraint, that's a good word for it, and, a limiting time constraint, because after college, I'd have to get a full-time job, and that would leave not that much time for YouTube and stuff. So, furthermore, the work schedule around here, it's not a 40-hour work week. It's a 2 weeks 90-hour work week, which baffles me. But basically, 2 weeks you work 90 hours, but then you get like every other Friday off. But it's like, I forget how many hours you work a day. It's just ugh. That's all I have to say to it. They call it I think it's actually a 980, but I digress. That would just leave a lot of time, for work, but not really much for, what I like doing. Zeusing, YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff, interacting with the player base, So that's the background. That's the burden on my shoulders, or however the heck you want to say it. Also, I'll get into this, why I'm not turned around looking at a camera right now. We'll get into that later. But, for more background, go into a few months ago. October, November was some really exciting, it was a really exciting time for me. YouTube was in full swing. I was making a lot in terms of I could actually see myself going full-time. So I was making plans for it. I was making updates to content. I was really driving for it because I want to say, 2/3 away from getting to, not even, like, even if I'm gonna talk myself into circles here, so I just gotta keep with my point. I was very close to getting to full-time goals, so that, you know, a year and a half from now, or I guess from then it would have been nearly 2 years from now, I could see myself doing things in full-time. I would have made the goal probably by August. We were going at a rate for YouTube growth where if it kept going, I would have made it past 100K subs right now. And I was making viewership similar to channels. Let's see, back then I was about 60K, so 612, 5 times my size. I was getting about 2.2 million views a month, and it was great. It was going well. Then YouTube had an algorithm change 1 week into November, and I lost 2/3 of everything. Fuck, that hit me hard. And this wasn't like I had a viral video going that, you know, brought the rest of my channel up. No. It was just everything was genuinely getting more views. There wasn't one viral video driving everything. It was just, you know, things were going up. Like, I finally honed down on the YouTube treadmill. And it took probably, I think, 8 months to build that momentum of just uploading something every single day and finally clocking in and, you know, really exploiting that YouTube treadmill of, you know, if you keep uploading, YouTube prioritizes you and its algorithms, and that's why I was able to get so much viewership. And we grew pretty quickly in that time. But yeah, 1 week in November, they had an algorithm change, and this happened not just to me, but a lot of people, especially if you were under 100K subs. That's what we found the benchmark to be. You lost 2/3 of your shit within, like, 3 weeks. Just everything just randomly tanked, and there wasn't a damn thing you could do about it. And it hit me a bit hard. That combined with finals, just I kind of bottled up and just kept doing what I was doing, of course, but I kind of, like, stopped uploading YouTube stuff as often as I should have been, because, you know, in my depressed little mind, I didn't see the point, because, sorry, water, I'm still a bit sick after the fact, you know, the whole copyright thing and whatnot, but it hit hard, because, you know, I was like this close to getting what I wanted, and then, but that's life. It's filled with setbacks, and you just gotta keep going, and we'll get into that train. But yeah, so I squandered a bit of my break, I want to say, between semesters. I just kind of looked for solutions, crunching numbers, and kind of just accepting that I might not be able to do what I want at the end of the day, a year and a half from now, and it was a hard pill to swallow, but yeah, fuck it. So I'm looking at everything under a new legacy, if you would say. That's not the right word. I guess policy would be better, because I want to make a legacy for myself now. Simply under the guise of, after not this coming August, but next August, I would say the, like, 10 Zeus missions I do every week, it's going to get slashed down to 2 or 3. That's what I've accepted. That's probably what's going to happen. Might not, because things have turned around, but that is the mindset going forward that I am taking in. Because I'm not going to get my hopes up only for YouTube to make a change in its algorithm to just fuck me, you know? Because it hurt. It honestly fucking hurt. And there's not much you can do about it. I mean, YouTube, it's not like they're interactive at all, but I digress again. You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, even though that hand abuses the shit out of you and everyone else that works for it. But whatever. Whatever. So, fast forward to 3 weeks ago, when I wanted to make this video. That was going to be, you know, my point. I was going to say, hey, you know, so here's what I'm going to work on. Here's how I'm going to do everything. Instead of just saying I was going to work on it, I just went right into working on it. So, here's where the video gets good, I would say. Here's where we get out of the backstory. Here's all the stuff that's coming up that we're working on, per se. First and foremost, I just want to address this right now. I am working on a body pillow for Operator Jan. We're going to have 2 versions of it. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle the logistical side of things. What I might end up doing is, since I have the images for it, what I'll do is I think people will send me money, and then I'll buy it for you and get it shipped to you. That way, I don't have to worry about buying them and then shipping to people. So there's less fees all around, and that way I can, like, just ask for the amount of money it would take to give it to somebody. And I'm not sure shipping's going to be available globally, but I'll make some exceptions for some people, Patreons and whatnot, because why the fuck not? But there's going to be 2 versions of this pillow. They're both going to be double-sided. Both are going to have a normal version, which is like, just regular Operator Chan, because why not? And then the back of one side is going to be very suggestive, and then the back of the other side is just going to be all out inappropriate. And I just thought, since everyone's been joking and some have been serious about asking for one, I've always had this in the back of my mind to, make one, because why the fuck not? Honestly, a lot of the reasons I do things for the channel in general, for Arma, for, we're getting into Warcraft, we'll get into that one in a second. A lot of the reasons I get into stuff, or try stuff, or do really silly things like IED courses, or goats, or chat, or whatever, is why the fuck not? That's my policy here of, why don't we just, like, try it, get it done, see how people like it, and if we like it, we'll keep doing more of it. But I'm completely open to trying new things for the channel, because why the fuck not, why not? So yeah, that's it's gonna be about 2-3 weeks for that, though. I've already seen some of the prototype designs, but it's going to take a while because I've asked for some very extensive details from my artist. So he's got another project ahead of mine right now, though, another commission. So in the scheme of things, it's just going to take a bit. But I assure you it's coming. And again, why the fuck not? Another project we've gotten into is what I've noticed is the need for diversification on YouTube and Twitch and content in general, because although I do like Zeusing, I would love to do Zeusing, I'd love to keep Zeusing, it's a bit of a one-trick pony in terms of, for the channel and the content. And I will always mainly focus on Zeusing as a whole for Arma 3, but I wanted to get into some other stuff. So a game I used to play all the time was Warcraft 3. And I always loved the diversity with the custom games. And I've been getting a few people together, and they're rehashing Warcraft 3 in something called Warcraft 3 Reforged, which is going to come out the last day of December this year, so it's not going to be for another year, but in that time, I thought, maybe I can build myself a bit of a Warcraft 3 community. That way we can all go into Reforged and play all the custom games again on HD textures and whatnot. I thought that would be a cool idea, so midnight every day, I'm going to release a Warcraft 3 video. And I've actually been really good about keeping to that right now, because I have it all the way up to, I think right now it's next week. I've got 7 videos already scheduled. And, every time I do custom games, we'll be making some more. They're really easy to edit, really easy to get to YouTube. And, we'll just keep that going. So every midnight, new Warcraft 3 game mode. There'll be numbers in the title to show that there's been, some additional ones already done. But I think, getting into some custom games would be a really nice addition, because it just shows the diversity of, what you can do with Warcraft 3. And I'm all about showing the diversity of what you can do in video games. Zeusing, playing on the ground, yada yada. That's my interest, and that's what I like to get into. And, there's a few Warcraft channels out there, but not that many in the scope of things, so I thought that would also be a really cool, market to enter into. So we've got that going for us, and we'll be, expecting more late-night live streams and, more content for that in general. I think that's really cool. So, what else? I'm not sure if we can see the box right now because I can't look at the camera feed, but in there's an Oculus Rift. I gotta do some more unboxing videos. I've got a lot of stuff I gotta get into. I pushed it all off because of what I mentioned earlier. What happened over the past few months kind of killed me. So this will also lead into some additional stuff. And we'll see how that goes. But I've got some really awesome plans for some of the unboxing stuff I've got to do, but we probably won't get into it until next month, and I'll release, another video like this talking about it. It'll be much shorter because we don't have to go into the background. I'll, hopefully have the confidence to go through everything without taking more than one take. But yeah, this is actually a good segue into another thing I've started doing. I recently hired an editor. If you look up when Liru and Forensic went to a Gmod Star Wars RP server, that's actually his work. We're going to focus on trying to make a video once a week. Right now we're going to tackle that 3-4 hour block of footage that where Forensic and I got drunk and went on a Gmod Star Wars server just to see how it went. We're going to edit that out. That's probably going to be the highlight of this month, and then we're going to alternate between some Arma stuff and some other Gmod stuff I have on Backlog. And, he's paid. And thanks to people like Stone, I'm able to have guys like that. But, this is just something in addition that I want to tackle. Again, the long term, diversifying the content, adding more fine-tuned edited videos, having the editor also, he's going to add in subtitles now, because that seems to be the big craze, is comedy and subtitles. Because, Soviet Womble got that strategy from a different guy, and then, now everyone's doing videos like that, and they're gaining popularity. So again, the focus right now is to keep everything going, but add more stuff in hopes that that additional stuff, helps grow the channel quicker. That's the focus right now. So it's not shying away from the current stuff. I hate it when I have to do that. And I hate YouTubers that, shy away from their original content to just do different stuff, because it kind of alienates the original subgroup. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm just adding stuff in addition to what I'm doing. So, I'm still going to be Zeusing, doing stuff on the ground. It's just in addition to that, we'll have, some more edited videos. We might see some more Gmod stuff here and there, more Warcraft stuff here and there, yada yada. But the editor is going to help me get through some stuff in the backlog, and I'm going to be sending him a bunch of clip compilations, and we'll be getting some, high quality edited Arma footage out to, make my own antics and whatnot. So we've got that to look forward to. Another thing I've been having to do is my backlog. I've had videos, 3 weeks ago, I had a backlog of about 85 videos, and these were really big streams of, multiple hours of footage that I just never got around to editing. And I'll be honest, a lot of them are from public operations. And I don't know why I fell out of favor of editing those, but we're going to see a lot of public ops stuff starting to be released. I want to say starting next week. Because I've been tackling all the other videos in the backlog, kind of cherry picking and cleaning things up. Right now we're down from 85 to 66 videos as of 3 weeks, 3 weeks passing. So I'm happy with that progress, but I want to spend the next 2-3 months getting through that backlog, because now all of my videos output to an MKV file instead of an MP4, because they load on Windows Movie Maker like that. Yeah, I edit through Windows Movie Maker. It's easy. I have Sony Vegas. I just haven't had the time to, go through and learn how to edit with that, because time is a very valuable commodity that I have a lot of, but I choose to invest it in various different places, so we have that going for us. So a lot of older content that never saw the light of day. For example, the latest last year's IED course. I'm going to have my editor also make a few snippets of that thing too, but I'll be releasing them in full. And, just a lot of those public operations will also be releasing. So we've got that going for us. Let's see. I feel like that was a good segue into something else, but give me 1 second. Let me think of some of the other stuff we've been doing. I guess a good small one to go over is I converted everything from Streamlabs to Stream Elements. I had some help from the Stream Elements team on that. So now we have text-to-speech for subs and resubs, as well as bits that are over, I think we did 10,000 bits, you get a text-to-speech message, and any donations over, I think, $15 are also text-to-speech. So it's because when I released it, I had no restrictions on the text-to-speech, so people like 2D started trolling me with it, so we had to take it away. I'd love to have all the donation messages have text-to-speech, but 2D proved that, you know, we can't even have a nice thing for more than 30 minutes before it'll start being abused, so... You can blame 2D on those issues, by the way. 2D, Malin, Chris, those three specifically, because they were the ones doing a lot of the trolling in the test stream. But we also now will have chat displaying on the left side of the stream from now on. That'll help with the VODs. We had the last video that was uploaded, the whatchamacallit, the really cool pre-D-Day operation where we went behind enemy lines and took out anti-air positions. That was a good showcase of the chat system. So that'll, you know, keep YouTubers in the loop that don't like to watch the Twitch VODs or be live on Twitch for the things. And yeah, I just think it's a good feature all around. And I'll be getting into some more Stream Elements features in the future. Just right now, I am diverting my time to other projects. Sorry, if I get hiccups again, I swear to fucking God, but that's a nice small change we spent last Tuesday on, and, you know, hopefully it'll just make the content better overall. Another thing we're working on, I'm working on 3 major Zeus projects right now. The first, which I like to brag about, is Digby from ZF has contacted me in doing some joint TSB ZF ops. And we're going to make this probably a more serious style joint task force operation. Now, Digby, he's had a lot of IRL things come up. He's moving or something, and I understand how much of a pain in the ass moving is, because every semester I have to move back in and on campus, and, you know, I also lived in an apartment for a while, and I had to move in and out from there, and that's just a massive pain in the butt. But when he's ready to go, we might see joint ZF TSB ops on Sundays or a different day. It depends on his schedule. I want to say starting in probably 2 or 3 weeks from now, but we've been laying down some framework for it, and I am really excited for how that is all going to go. So that's project number 1. It's going to take over the German Civil War campaign slot, hopefully, but it's going to be that Tier 2 mindset of limited lives and, you know, some interesting stuff. Number 2, I'm working on a new mod set for sci-fi style operations. This is going to replace Monday's Star Wars stuff for the time being, since we've done 2 Star Wars things. We did an Imperial campaign, and then we're doing a Rebel Survival campaign. And this sci-fi stuff, it's going to be basically a more in-depth version of what we did that one time where we had the Uncom mod, and we basically made it an XCOM Arma scenario where we had a hostage scientist to rescue, and they ended up putting a tank shell through him. And we had Bloodlust on, and that was also the same op where the ground command team got pancaked 5 minutes within first contact by a blown-up UFO. We're making that into an entire mod set. So there's going to be mechs, there's going to be futuristic-looking vehicles, there's going to be all this really cool stuff, and I'm doing a lot of testing in terms of weapon balance. I streamed one of them last Tuesday. I think it was either Tuesday or yesterday, so, you know, we have that going for us. But that won't be seen probably for another anywhere between 3 and 8 weeks, depending on how quickly the player base finishes the Rebel campaign. I'm shooting for 5 weeks right now, but if they die too many times and they lose the campaign because of deaths, I foresee it going as early as 3 weeks, or if they really fuck up at the first position where they can finish the campaign and have to get it to the second position where they finish the campaign, that's going to take another 1 to 2 weeks as well, so we might go as late as that. So that's to look forward to. And number 3, for the 506, because Stalker unfortunately isn't viable, and I publicly released my mods for that. Because, you know, for the small amount of people, it just doesn't work. And yet for Stalker, most stops have to be a small amount of people. You know, it all just, with the crashing and stuff, we just can't do it. But we're going to go into Mass Effect, and I'm going to be working with a few people to make an interesting N7 Special Operations campaign for them. I've just been told I'm not allowed to use Krogans, which I think is bullshit, but we'll get through it. So that will debut next Wednesday, actually. Or I guess this coming Wednesday, since today is Thursday, so 6 days from now. So that will be an interesting campaign. So those are the 3 new projects I am working on, you know, tentatively as we continue on with operations. Current projects right now, you know, we're working on our Cold War stuff for both Tier 1 and Tier 3 style ops. That's going really well. German Civil War, we're almost done with. That's our last Op4 campaign. Op4 rotation, again, officially ended in the end of January, but, you know, I let things bleed in because other stuff I've started with our Blue 4 rotation, which is going to be February, March, and April. What else? The Star Wars Rebel campaign, I already touched on that. That's been an interesting clusterfuck, to say the least. But it's pretty unique, I will say, because, again, I haven't seen anyone do something like that. I'm trying to play on the ground more, because we have a lot of Zeuses within TSB that really know what they're doing, and they've been making some really cool, unique stuff. Yeah, just an hour and a half ago, actually, I was sitting down with one of them. We were talking over his op on how to, you know, successfully make ambushes, looking into things like some unique scripts, such as TFAR jamming scripts, you know, cool stuff like that, and some cool scripting into that, which, you know, I've been, over the past few months, I want to say, slowly incorporating some scripting here and there in my ops to add some really unique stuff. Stuff from Alias, for example, for some really cool sci-fi, or Anomaly, Stalker level stuff, you know, nice slice of life things like that, you know, you can't really do with mods. So, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, get more Arma out there because I love Arma. So we have a lot of interesting stuff coming up, to say the least. What else? Let me take another sip of water and think. Shiitake. I don't know. IRL things are going good right now. I'm not failing any classes. I probably should have taken down all my decor. I'm a Spice and Wolf fan, but Bloodwing pressures me into buying merchandise. Because, you know, she's my girlfriend. Why wouldn't she? There's a body pillow covered up on that bed, too, by the way. Again, I didn't buy it. She did. I swear to God. But no one's gonna believe me. And I think the camera cuts off the lewd one over there, so it's okay. But I'm not actually a weeb. I just like one particular anime and watch a few others. But no one's gonna believe me. But fuck, what else channel-wise? We talked about Warcraft, we talked about the editor, we talked about the artist. Oh, by the way, for the artist, after he's done with the body pillow stuff, I gotta get out the new, the 2-year resub badge. It's gonna be a cooler looking Lance Corporal badge. And then I'm gonna have him work on some new merch designs. Also, someone about a week ago shot me some artists that I could incorporate into making more designs for merch and stuff. I haven't contacted either of them yet, though, because right now funds are a bit on the low side. Like, I know Stone gave me a good chunk of change a few days ago. I've been diverting that into money for a fund for the editor and the current artist right now. So, as well as another thing I forgot to mention about financials. My last year of college, I haven't put the money aside for yet, so I got to start doing that, and that's going to be like $25K with fees and expenses that could go all the way up to $35K, so I gotta scrounge around for that. And that's also why I'm kind of doubling down on investing on an editor for vids that can, you know, score tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views, because I'm gonna start getting in the red financially. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's why, you know, going full-time is really risky with everything, because you know, I live in an expensive area, and fuck my life. But we've got, I'll be taking care of that, and if not, I'll, you know, ask for help, and I generally get it around here, so, um, and then I figure out the rest. Sorry, that sounded really, that sounded really bad. Really, it's you guys that let me do all this, and I don't thank you guys enough for it. To my player base that has stuck with me through, I want to say, the dark days, post-Luton days, where my Zeusing was completely unrefined, it was very raw, and it was very cancerous at times. I don't know why I still have players as old as Sniper Wolf, or Grizzly, or Gao, because I would have honestly left me the way I used to Zeus, and even then I still have new things to learn with getting everything done, and how I Zeus off. So I'm trying to, you know, get into more, expand into more ideas, more content, blah, 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 because Arma's a sandbox, and you're always learning, and you're always incorporating new things, you're always making new mod sets, finding new ways to play, yada-da, but yeah, I will say I'm definitely a better Zeus than what I was 2 years ago, and I'm definitely a better person at taking feedback and criticism compared to 2 years ago. I still have a lot to learn, though. And I still need to be a bit less of an asshole, but I try. I definitely try. But I think this is a good segue into another project I'm going to start working on, which is something I've dubbed the Zeus Encyclopedia. And background for this is I was browsing Arma Reddit a few weeks ago. It's somewhere I rarely go, but no, it wasn't the Reddit. It was the Discord. It was the Arma Discord. And something I read in the Zeus discussion section, because I like to read there once in a while to see if there's anything cool that pops up, is someone has a community out there, a small community, but every Zeus is required to watch a video Luton09 made about the rationale of Zeusing. And I thought that was really cool that he, even though he left Arma, like, literally a little over a year ago, he still has that video up and people still reference it like the Bible, you know, on how to do things. And I've watched it, and there's a lot of points I agree with, some I do not, but I want to take that a step further, because it really doesn't encompass everything there is to Zeusing. Like, you know, talking about the rationale, great. I would say, in the scope of things, his rationale only targeted something that I like to call the balanced Zeus. You know, how to react if the players do this, this, or this. It doesn't encompass the other rationales you could have from Zeusing, such as the easy, fair-going Zeus that wants the player base to succeed and have a good time, and, you know, play casually. The difficult Zeus that will give the player base a true challenge, you know, and punish them for mistakes if they occur. And then the outright sadistic Zeus that you see me do on the Warhammer 40k ops, where I will literally fuck them over because that's what they want me to do. It's limited. There's multiple different rationales to Zeusing, but I haven't taught anyone that. No one said anything about that, and that's not public knowledge. So I've been working on this really massive list of videos I'm going to start making, where I will, you know, just share my knowledge on how to Zeus. You know, from basics like hotkeys. There's still Zeuses out there that don't know all the hotkeys. I probably don't know all the hotkeys still, or at least use them as often as I should. And it took me probably 2 years to learn, like, all the major ones, I want to say. But, like, for example, if you get pinged as the Zeus, if you hit the spacebar, it'll automatically take your camera to the ping. Fucking so many people, when I tell them that, they go, huh, really? Whoa, I never knew that. It's like, there needs to be more information out there. Because Zeusing is probably one of the coolest fucking things you can do in a video game. It's literally D&D, but for a fucking military shooter sandbox. And I think a lot more people should get into it, and a lot more players should play on the ops. It's just, you know, there's such a big lack of information, because I had to self-teach myself, like, 95% of everything. The other 5 was just me, you know, hearing what Luton had to say, you know? So we'll start seeing that project coming out next week, and I've got a lot of chapters. The first video will go over a complete overview of everything, and if there's specific topics people want me to cover, I will put them either in the addendum section at the end, or I'll add them into the various sections I have. Again, it's on like basics, rationale, how to use units, how to play with the AI, how to utilize specific things, what types of ops you can make, and how to handle them. Again, it gets very extensive very quickly, and I want to say 20 pages on a Word doc of me literally just writing through stuff, making scripts for, scriptures to read off of when I make these videos. So that's what I'm going to really work on, because, if I have to cut back on my Zeusing 2 Augusts from now, I want to have that same type of legacy that Luton has. But I want it to be more extensive. Everyone always wants to top their predecessor. And that is how I will top it. So that's going to be another project I am working on in my spare time. I wanted to get the that video out on Friday, but I had to, change the stream labs to stream elements and make some hot fixes. And I also got sick, which fucked my voice between Tuesday and a bit of Wednesday. So yeah, I got pushed back on some of my stuff a bit. So we've got that to look forward to as well. I'm trying to think, what else? Because there's stuff I'm working on that I know I'm missing right now, but I just can't think of it right now. We're gonna get into more merch in the future. I already probably touched up on that. Unboxings, again, future stuff. Damn, let me take a sip of water to stall. Because I know what I want to end on. It's going to be talking about why I'm turned around from the camera and, some things about that. But I genuinely cannot remember what else I'm supposed to be talking about. Oh, another thing. Warhammer 40k and 212 stuff has been on a bit of a hiatus because of the past few weekends where I've been busy on the Saturday where we operate. That is ending this weekend. This weekend I'll be gone for KatsuCon. It's this anime convention. Bloodwing is in a dance group, and she got this really awesome gig that's, built into the convention. So she'll be doing multiple dances and stuff with her group. So naturally I have to be a good bae and go and support her. So, yeah, this weekend will be the last weekend I take off. I won't be here Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but I'll make sure there's plenty of uploads to, watch in the meantime between Arma, On the Ground, Zeusing, and some Warcraft stuff. So there's that. And then we'll start seeing Warhammer 40k and 212 Ops, which I've heard Warhammer 40k, that community is 700 Cadian. They finally cracked the netcode and actually had 90 people in a server, and it was really fucking stable. I watched their stream back. So we might start having actual 90-person ops again. It won't lag like shit, but I gotta rebalance some of my missions so they have a lot less assets to, allow for that amount of players to simply exist on Arma, because that's a very, very rare thing to have that very few people have unlocked the ability for, and, without it desyncing and lagging like shit. So we've got that to look forward to. And then 212 Ops, I've got a few interesting things planned for them that, haven't seen the light of day yet. I've worked on them in streams in the past, but we'll finally play those out. But yeah, again, I feel like I'm missing a few major things right now, but I think we're gonna, in terms of what we're looking forward to, we'll leave it at that. Plus, I think I've run this video enough times. So, why am I turned around from the camera right now? In the future, again, I'll be getting my face rig back up. I was trying to get it up this morning, but it was being a pain in the butt. So, in the future, I'll be turned forward, but have the face rig over my face. But the work culture around here, it's not even the work culture around here. It's globally right now, especially in the U.S. With the amount of competition for jobs and stuff, people want to, for their employees, minimize risk within their employees so they don't badmouth the company or do anything stupid. If I were to turn around, show my face, and take ownership of my channel, I'm going to be perfectly honest, probably wouldn't get hired anywhere if they knew. Or if I had a current job and I did it, I would probably be fired very quickly if someone were to discover it. Because that's just the day and age where we live in, you know? Because let's say that employee gets mad and then he uses his media platform to badmouth the company. Not saying I would do it, but, you know, you got to think in the employer's heads. You know, what if that were to happen? And depending on how many people they have under their belt, that may or may not actually damage the company. It's just a risk, and it's better to just hire that guy that doesn't have that media platform that can do the same amount of work, and they can pay, you know, the same rate. So the day where I do a face reveal is the day where I will guarantee with 100% certainty that I can do this YouTube stuff full time. So that's why I'm sitting like this. If that makes any sense. I might have just completely whiffed that. But to give a side story, one of my good friends who's a YouTuber mainly plays Call of Duty Battlefield first-person shooter stuff. He's on a small esports team that goes to competition. He's able, because of where he lives for his channel, he's able to, you know, make things work for himself financially. But he had he was doing it part-time, the YouTube stuff, because he had a full-time job. But he would stream with a face cam. And literally one day he was called into his boss's office, and they played one of his videos, and they fired him that day. And that is what kind of terrifies me, because I don't want that to happen to me. But, you know, he's living it decent, but then again, he doesn't live in an area where the median salary is $150,000. Fuck no. That terrifies me as well, because if I go full time, I won't be able to pay for a place to sleep. But yeah, that's why I'm very defensive about the face reveal stuff, and yeah. Don't get me wrong, it would probably be really easy to dox me or find out who I am. I know there's a small group of people within TSB that found my old Facebook, and they made fun of me of that, but for that. But that was a while ago. They used something on one of Bloodwing's accounts and found both of us, but that I don't mind. If you dox me and find out who I am from there, that's great. It's just, you know, I can't make a video showing me because, you know, that's more public, that's more accessible for, you know, coworkers or employers, blah blah. And just I don't want to risk it, you know, because I don't know what the future is going to hold. Hell, maybe something will happen in 5 months, and, you know, the channel will skyrocket, and then my fears will be pointless again. And then maybe, you know, a month after that, the same thing will happen, what happened in November, and it'll all be crushed in front of me, and at least I won't get as depressed as I was the first time. But you never know. I mean, life is just, it's all a gamble. We don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Hell, if I knew what was going to happen, I'd enter the lotto numbers in right now and just get that money and do this full time. But I'm rambling at this point, so I'll wrap it up. But yeah, this is where we are. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming. I'll make one of these every month or so, but I think it's important to keep you guys informed, so we'll see how it all does. But thank you guys for watching, or listening, if indeed you still are. It means a lot that, you know, some people care about where the channel's going, not just me. But go operate operationally. I'll give you one final thing to for those of you that stayed till the end. So I made a video a while back, while the channel was in full swing, about if we got 80k subs by the end of the year, I would do an artillery-only operation. And we didn't reach that goal, unfortunately, because we only made 80k subs about, I think, yesterday. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do the operation. I'm working on it. It's going to be something interesting. It's going to be a fun, jokey op. I just got to find a special time to do it, but that'll probably come in about 1 to 2 weeks, give or take. So with that, that's your little Easter egg. We'll get into some artillery-only memes, because why the fuck not? Hell, there was even, on Know Your Meme, they put a little chapter about me, quote-unquote, revitalizing the meme because of that video I made. So we might as hell follow through because, you know, I like the publicity. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go operate operationally. I'll probably upload one more video before the Midnight Warcraft video upload, because why not? Otherwise, have a good one, guys, and cheers. Got my Zeusing green robe on. But yeah, take care.